Lisa Haisha here at the Soul Blazing Sanctuary, and I have Julia Wyson with me. And now I've been working with Julia for over a decade, and I find her to be one of the most inspirational people I know. And she's definitely a beautiful person to be in any kind of relationship with. She's just always there. She always has a smile on her face. She's always centered, regardless of what's going on. So here's a little bit about Julia. So Julia Wyson is the owner of Julia WysonDesign, a Los Angeles-based company specializing in websites for small businesses, individuals, and nonprofits. She is also the executive director of the Los Angeles Drama Club, an artistic community of youth who, through the creative process of putting on a play, have found passion, purpose, and a safe place to express themselves and gain self-worth from their collective accomplishments. So, hi, Julia.
Hi, Lisa.
Great to have you here.
Nice to be here.
Yes, so please share some of your secrets with us. I want to know, what is the single best advice you've ever received?
Well, this came to me when my organization, Los Angeles Drama Club, had first become a nonprofit. And it was very terrifying for us to ask for help. We'd been doing it on our own. And the piece of advice, talking to somebody who'd been through the process before of starting a nonprofit, was A, not to be afraid to ask for help, and B, it takes just as much work to ask for help from someone who can only give you a little tiny bit of help as it does to ask for help from somebody who can give you a huge amount of help. For instance, with a grant, it's just as much work to apply for a $1,000 grant as it is to apply for a $1 million grant. So don't be afraid to go to the people who can really, really make a difference in your life, as opposed to being timid and saying, okay, I'll just ask this person who can help me a little. Right. The advice was, go to that person who can change your life and say, this is what I need.
Oh, that's great advice. You're talking about not playing small. If you have a big dream, what you're doing is actually giving to the world. So you're not asking, you're asking for help to help.
Exactly.
So, yes, because I know a lot of my clients feel uncomfortable with that because they feel like, oh, I don't want to ask people for favors, but you're really not. You're actually offering them a gift to help.
Exactly.
You know, if you want to look at it that way. That's wonderful. So what is the biggest self-growth hurdle you had to overcome?
Well, it goes along with that. It was I tend to be one of those people who finds it easier to just do it myself. And then I have to realize my limitations and realize that, wow, there's only one of me and there's 24 hours in a day. And I need to, A, have the courage to ask for help, as I said in the last question, but also realize that other people can bring their unique gifts to something. It might not be exactly the way I would do it. Okay. But I have to let go and say, that person could teach me something. That person could do it better than I, even though it's different. And in my mind, I'm thinking, no, this is the way I do it, and it has to be done that way. And then kind of realizing, wow, if I bring these other people into the fold, then they might be able to teach me something, and they might be able to do something that isn't within my skill set. So it's that kind of letting go and saying, I need help, and even though you're different from me, I'm going to trust that you're going to be able to help me.
Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense, and that's interesting. Nobody's shared that with me yet. So, wonderful. Okay. So, what does it take to be in the top 1% of your field and be happy?
Well, the first thing, I think the people who are really making a difference in my field, they have to be passionate. You have to be passionate about it. This is not something you do to pass the time. And that's what I've noticed in terms of finding those people to bring into the organization, is I need to see that spark in their eyes that says, I'm willing to sacrifice, I'm willing to do something for this. This is not just something that I'm going to pass the time. You know, oh yeah, I have a little spare time, so I'll help out a little bit. I want people who are going to be thinking about it when they go to sleep at night, and, you know, trying to solve the next problem and having that spark of passion. So it's definitely the passion. And then at the same time, it's the ability to make things happen, to be organized, to get things done, to set goals. There are a lot of people who are passionate, and when you're competing with all of them, whether it's to get a grant or whether it's to attract audiences, they're going to be attracted to your passion. But if you don't have the organizational and management skills behind that, then you're not going to be able to deliver anything that's going to change their lives or inspire them or anything else. You need to, it needs to be kind of the perfect marriage of the two.
I see. And the part of being happy also, does that come from?
I started doing this because I've been working on my web design company, which I love and really enjoy, but feeling this sadness, because I trained as an actor and I studied Shakespeare. I have a master's in fine arts in Shakespeare, and I just felt this void. Wow, there's something missing. And I actually occasionally would have these dreams where I would be in my house and I would open a door and I would realize there was a whole wing to the house that I'd forgotten about or I didn't know existed. And it would be beautiful and it would have these amazing fabrics and all this stuff. And I thought, there's something in myself that I'm not feeding. So when I got involved in Los Angeles Drama Club and decided to sort of take it to the next level and become a nonprofit, I felt like I was feeding that. And so what allows me to do all the hard work and push the envelope and do the scary things, the reason that I can do those is because this is filling this void. It's filling this thing that was missing. I feel like it's using all of my talents, everything that I've thought, I would be good at that. I feel like this sort of uses it all.
Oh,
and so beautiful. Consequently, I feel like when you're doing something that you love, and at that level, then the happiness comes. As long as you take care of yourself and exercise and eat properly and get sleep,
yes.
Then you're going to be happy. So that's the challenge. I think that's the $1 million question: is how do you give yourself over to that and still take care of yourself, still take care of your relationships?
Yes.
Do all those things. And if I had the answer, I would probably market it, but I think it's just, it's an everyday challenge. You get up and say, where am I going to fit this in? Where am I going to fit this in? Yes. And still be able to keep working toward my goals.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. That's wonderful. And from what I get from that is it's really your passion. If people could go inside and really find out what they truly love, then they'll be happy even if they have challenging days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lot more exciting to have a challenging day when the goal at the end of it takes your breath away versus, I want to get through my to-do list.
Right.
And that's when I think people start to feel miserable. They start to feel like their life is just getting through a to-do list.
Yes. Yeah, getting through the day. So what do you want your legacy to be?
I think that I want to, on a very simple note, some of my happiest memories in life are when I worked together with a group of people on a play. And the community that you find when you're all working together to do something like a performance it brings me so much joy. And the idea that my students will grow up and have these memories of working with a group of kids to accomplish this thing that people would say, kids can't do that. They will have that memory, and the idea that they will have those memories really thrills me. And the idea that not only will they have those memories, but they will have those memories doing the works of William Shakespeare really thrills me. I feel like there's a beautiful quote, I'm not going to be able to remember it exactly, but Richard Monette from the Stratford Festival says that if a child is introduced to Shakespeare as a friend, he has every chance of having a friend for life. Whereas if he's introduced to it as, something you have to study in school, then he's always this sort of distant and intimidating thing. And when I look at my students and they talk about him, they talk about his plays, they talk about his characters as, like other kids talk about Britney Spears and whoever else, Lady Gaga, I'm not even sure who they're talking about these days. But when they're talking about William Shakespeare like that, and bringing into their adulthood these memories, that's what I feel like my legacy is.
Oh, God, thank you so much for sharing that. That's beautiful.
Thank
And
you.
I know you're changing lots of lives, and I feel that these children that you're working with are very blessed because I never had that growing up, and I wish there was someone like you around. So, yeah, that's a great gift you're giving. So, thank you so much, Julie, and thank you for spending this time with me.
My pleasure.
Okay, have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye bye.